What's up, guys? We are here at ABR Industries' brand new facility. We have Shannon, Mark, and Chuck with us, and we're going to take you through a tour of this beautiful place. And Mark is still alive. There he is.
Hi, good morning. My name is Shannon Abramson. I am the president of ABR Industries, and we're excited to have you here today to see the new space. We just got here in April. I will say my most favorite part already is the air conditioning for anybody who's been stuck in Texas wanting to sweat all of everything out. It's been really hot the last couple of weeks, and having air conditioning and eventually heating is going to be ideal. So I'm excited today to give you a little bit of a tour, and we're going to start off where everything begins. This is more of my space. I tend to start with the tubing machine. For all of you that place orders, we give you a green heat shrink tubing marker. It will tell you how long the tubing or how long the cable is. It will tell you what connectors are on there. It'll give you a lot number, and we come in here and we start the magic right here with this machine. I believe you kind of got in on that the last time, right?
Yep.
Where if you get that personalized heat shrink tubing marker, you can put on your call sign. A lot of people like their phone number or their email address. As we grow our footprint in the market, I know a lot of people have ABR cables out there, and it used to be, oh, I see the green, I'm going to grab it and run. Now it's like, I want to make sure that my stuff is my stuff, and my friend Bob doesn't take my really good ABR coax
Having
cable.
your call sign on your coax is awesome. That's a really nice feature you guys offer.
Thank you. And we can do it. I think we give up to about 25 characters. It is an option that's on the website when you're placing an order, but I'm also really good at customer service. That's my jam. So if you ever need questions on how to get it taken care of, you can give us a call, and glad to be able to walk through it.
Right on.
So yeah, we get started here. We do the tubing on all of the different sizes. Again, we start with the 3/16 size all the way up to our 600 cable. So we keep all of our different tubing here, and once the tubing markers are finished, as you can see, we do them in buckets. We kind of try to keep everything organized. Once we pull all the tubing, then I come over, I grab all of our connectors. We've really worked hard with all of this extra space to kind of keep everything organized. Again, with air conditioning, I can be in here as long as I want.
Yeah, this was like stuffed in the middle of the room
Exactly,
in the last place.
it was. It was all kind of shoved in the middle of everything. So we've given this space to all of the raw components. We try to keep a heavy inventory that helps with our just-in-time, so that, you know, you place an order, we try to ship it in a couple of days. So we do keep a heavy inventory and a lot of overflow to make sure that we're not waiting. Supply chain isn't as bad as it was during those key COVID years, but it was one of those that we learned I'd rather, instead of buying 100 of something, I may buy 1,000, or instead of 1,000, I may be buying 2,000, just to make sure that we have inventory.
And you have like every connector in the world too.
Pretty much. Every once in a while I do get a call and I was like, oh, we don't have that one. Let me see if I can find it. But for the most part, we offer the straight, we offer the right angles, we do reverse polarity for a lot of our commercial accounts. So yeah, it was a lot to soak up. And then you throw in like 4 or 5 different size cables, and hence all of the yellow buckets. Once we have all the tubing and the connectors pulled, we bring all of our orders into here. Lewis is our lead when it comes to cutting and stripping the cable. He is the master with our machinery. I know you highlighted that the last time. And if you'd like to kind of see that up close again.
Oh, so that's coiling it out there. And this does the measuring and the stripping and everything, or?
Yep, down to the millimeter. So I'd like to say Lewis would agree with me. His life got a little easier with this extra machine.
Yeah, everything's easier with it.
And the AC and the fan. They hooked you up.
So we will sometimes have 3 carts in here at one time as he's working to pull.
Watch how they band these. This is cool.
Yeah, so it will cut and strip to the millimeter, and then it spins it, and then he takes it and shrinks it down to make it a more manageable coil. And then once he bands it like that, he organizes it, as you can see right here. So like we have on this specific order 2 by 120 feet, 125 feet of our 240 Ultra Flex. So again, this is that cable. It's about 30% lower loss than the traditional 8X in the market. So he has a method, we have a process in place to make sure that everything is built to the order so that everyone gets exactly what they know that they've ordered.
That's awesome.
And so once he gets done with a cart, he then will move it into the next location that I'm going to take you. But since we're all blocked up here, we're going to head that way. Thanks, Lewis. Enjoy that fan.
Thank you.
So once the cables are all cut, the tubing is ready, the connectors are there, Lewis will bring them in to this space. This is where our lead technicians all work. They are well-trained and methodical. They come in, they know exactly what they're doing, and I just usually let them be.
So we're just putting on connectors and stuff here?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's two things that go on in this space on this end. The machine that you just saw will cut and strip the smaller, thinner cables. But cables that are thicker, especially heavier cables, like this is, we don't do as much in amateur radio, but this is our 400 solid. It's not as flexible. So on things like this, we have to come over and we use these two stripping machines to strip them down and prepare them.
Okay.
See,
I think we saw this last time. Yeah.
So we do have these over here. We don't have as much that's getting stripped by hand. That machine has really taken over for that. But this is here. And then once the cables are stripped, and again, they're cut and stripped down to the millimeter, it makes it so much easier for our technicians because their focus is connectorization.
Yeah.
They get everything set. Christy's been working really hard. Some of our customers like bundled cable. So these have 4 cables and they run through this sheath to keep it together. And then on either end, Christy, do you mind if I borrow this?
That's a great option, having them all bundled in that sheath there.
And then we color code them. So like when the end user wants to install it, they know which one's going where. We've pretty much brought the rainbow into ABR. So we have a variety of colors on our website that will provide this extra PTEX sheath over it. I know we were discussing a lot during Dayton Hamvention. A lot of people who do POTA are like, oh, I love this. You know, obviously it makes it really bright. You're less likely to have your long guy run it over. Squirrels and rabbits have a little tougher of a time.
Oh, that's a good point.
Exactly, you know. And then if you're just dragging it across rocks or like through things, that it's going, I mean, it's not like metal, but it is giving it an extra layer of protection.
It's definitely some tough stuff. I've got the orange on
the orange one.
Great.
So it's definitely growing. People are really liking it, and I believe we're going to actually be doing like a weekly video this week. Chuck's putting something together for that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Very
once
nice.
it wraps up on this end and everything's prepped from a connector standpoint, and the center pin is all soldered, then we have the next step. It's over here in the corner, and this is where we come in and we do our crimping. A much better crimp than, say, your hand crimpers.
I need to upgrade to one of those.
Okay. It's I'll let you know where you can get one.
Right, I'll bet.
And then once she's done with the crimping, then she comes over, and I think you got that the last time. This is just that heat shrink tubing, like a heater, so that it shrinks everything down. As with all of our cables, you get that black or the black tubing on both ends for weatherproofing and strain relief, and then that green tubing marker. And then once it's done, you will get it over to me, and I may own the business, but I also do shipping. So I don't have as much sweat coming with all of the cables that I used to now that we have the air conditioning. But usually the carts fill up, as you can see over here, and this is where shipping also takes place. Much better than when it's 110 outside. I will take the AC.
Yeah, this is way nicer.
Way nicer.
Absolutely.
And when I first moved in, I got lost a lot. I'm like, which direction am I going? So it wraps up here, and then I will take you out this side.
So this is your shipping station?
Yes, this is shipping. We can do USPS, we do FedEx, we do UPS. It just depends on, I know what we have our new flat rate shipping model. So for that, typically if you're shipping something, like let's say this customer bought one of these red PTEX sheath cables, I can do USPS for this. We have flat rate for $9.95.
Oh wow.
Can't go wrong for $9.95.
Yeah,
but if you have a UPS or a FedEx account, we can always apply that to an order as well. So. Good. And this would be where production wraps up, and then I can take you to go see where we keep all the cable on the outside. So at our old location, we had 2 suites. Yeah. We had the main suite, and then Lewis was over by himself. Now this is where we keep all of our excess cable for a variety of different applications. As I shared earlier, we want to make sure that we stay ahead of our inventory. We can't go through all of this in a brief amount of time, but we always want to make sure that our cable is well stocked so that we can make sure that we do that fast lead time.
It's like coax cable heaven here.
It is.
You just want to like dive in and lay on it.
We could set up a hammock back here. You can come hang out anytime. And and just one more thing while we're out here. When I was mentioning about the hand stripping, this is still that machine. So he does have to come out a little bit and work in less than desirable temperatures. But this is again
for your thicker cables again.
Thicker cable. I mean, that 600 would be really hard to push through.
This LMR 600 is a freaking beast.
So we do still have to come out, and he'll hand cut braid. He'll hand cut some of those cables that you saw in there. But for the most part, we've tried to really go towards machinery whenever possible. We've made significant investments in that because we know we're giving the best finished product that we can.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when the cable's bigger than me, we gotta make adjustments.
Absolutely. And you said, you've got grounding strap here too.
Yes, we do. So we do 1/2 inch and 1 inch braid. And in the past, we used to only offer like a couple of lengths. Now, just like with our custom cable builder, you can go on and you can choose however long you want. It has to be in full whole numbers. But if you want 2 feet, if you want 6 feet, if you want 9 feet, that is, again, my opinion, one of the best things of working with ABR, that you can make it fully customizable to the way you want it. You're not beholden to somebody else's set pre-lengths.
Absolutely. So I'm here with Chuck now, and a question I get asked all the time is, what is that thing I have hooked up to my radio before my coax? And it's a choke. And they come from ABR Industries. So Chuck is going to tell us all about chokes.
We offer a number of different types of chokes in a bunch of different configurations. So what we wind up doing is, from our standpoint, we try to make some standardized products that we sell at the shows, but these are all actually configurable through the website. So some of our newer products that we're starting to see is with the QRP crowd is with the 316 models. So a couple different types. We have a inline for those of you with an existing piece of coax. You're happy, everything's working great. Do I need to buy a whole new assembly? And the answer is no. We can build these Series 31 ferrites in just about any configuration. BNC male to female, for example, is an inline. Typically anywhere from 3, 5, or 7 ferrites is most popular. Just depends on how much you're trying to get rid of as far as noise. For a lot of people, usually 5 is generally a very good sweet spot because it gets rid of anywhere from about 20 to 25 dB worth of noise. Wow. And with a lot of the smaller radios, it can be critical. It can help out with the noise floor. If you jump to 7, that number jumps all the way up to 35. So there's definitely some improvement there. It's just up to you as far as how noisy it might seem, if there's power lines, so on and so forth. But so a simple solution is just, like I said, our standardized products. We can build these inlines. We also build a high-powered inline. So for those of you that are at legal limit, we offer an inline with the PL259 to an SO. We can do it with N connectors. We can do PL to PL. Just about any configuration you might need. But the standard ones that we sell at the shows are like these 7 ferrites. So these are pretty much trying to make them as bulletproof as possible. Now the question comes up from time to time, well, do I need 7? Do I need 8? Do I need 9, 10? Usually 7 becomes the diminishing returns, where it becomes most economical for people. We can put certainly more ferrites on there, but reasonably speaking, when we start doing that, people don't really see any improvement beyond that.
Okay.
So and these are all been tested. We have a TDR. We test a number of these different products to check and see how they perform, how they help with the floor. A couple of other items that we're now selling through the stores is the 316 assemblies in 15 and 25 footers with BNCs installed, and then the ferrites are built right in. For these, for simplification though, we build them with the 3 ferrites, which is generally good. It gets anywhere by about 10 to 15 dB of noise out of the line. But it's just a really simple, easy, quick fix for people. And then as far as portability goes, obviously the lighter the better.
Yeah.
But using Teflon is great because it allows people to be very, I guess you can be a little bit more rugged with this. So PTFE, you can put it in a door jamb, you can put it in a window jamb, you can crush it, you know, you can step on it. It's not going to wind up breaking on you and stuff like that. It handles very high temperatures. The jacketing, because it's PTFE material, is technically a little bit stronger than a PVC. And it becomes a nice, easy, simple solution for somebody, portable. If you're traveling, flying out somewhere, you can certainly, see that as a product as well. But we weren't done, so we got
there's more.
We got a lot of questions, and one of the bigger questions came up with really a new product that's taken off like crazy, which is coloring the cables.
Yeah.
So for some people, the first question comes out, you're putting a sheath on here. Why is that important? So what we do is we start off with the standard black jackets, but we can offer a wide variety of different colors by doing it this way. But we don't want to take away the UV resistant or direct burial compounds, because if we put those into the jacketing, we actually lose a lot of the direct burial compound components, and also usually lose a lot of the UV resistance by baking it into the jacketing. So the fix is, why don't we put a sheath on here? We can create them with high visibility colors like you see here, the yellow and the orange, and then from there you also get something that's abrasion resistant, so run it along the ground, gravel, so on and so forth. It's not going to tear into the jacketing. Somebody's in a hurry, quick setups. Some people do 5+ parts a day.
Yes, they do.
Which is incredible, but they're busy. They're hustling. And so it's really kind of meant to be an easy, quick fix and something that's highly visible. Hopefully nobody's stomping through your setup, but it's another way to see the coaxial feed line in there, and makes a nice, easy setup for people. And then one added benefit, it is also oil and gas resistant. So if you are sitting out there in a driveway, parking area and stuff like that, a couple people asked, well, I got a puddle of oil, or I ran it through something, or the mud, the muck, I don't know what's in the ground, there was a chemical or something. These are actually designed to sheen most of that off of it. So that's an added benefit. So that's the reason why when you ask, okay, what am I getting from what I'm paying for? You're getting an improved product. And you're getting something that's going to keep a longer life, and you're getting our standard cables, which is, like I said, UV resistant and direct burial across the board, and then a little something added extra.
Talk about the chokes.
Sure.
How do we get just an inline choke?
So if you want to just do an inline choke, it's a real simple setup in the builder. Go right into the amateur radio coax builder. Go right in there, And from there, first pick your cable. So you can pick like RG400, which is the ABR 400 product here. You can pick the 8X product, which is the 240 Ultra Flex. You can pick the 400 Flex, whatever cable that you want. And then from there, you build the connector A, connector B. So I will tell people we have two different types of PLs. We have a solder pin and a crimp body. We also have a solder body as well. So you can pick whichever flavor that you want, or you can pick an SO239. And then from there, once you've picked that in the length, the last step will tell you if you want to put on the inline ferrites, which you do, and it'll have a drop down, and it'll just tell you 3, 5, or 7. And
it already has the specific ferrite for the specific coax there?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so you don't need to fiddle around with...
You don't have to guess on the frequency, you don't have to guess on anything else. It's all set for you.
Okay.
And you just pick exactly what you want. And you just, you can put labels on there if you want. So you can say it's for a particular radio or a particular thing for field day or something else, but you can put all that stuff right in there and then you're good to go.
Okay.
And the reason why we do that is some people, you know, they need a foot, they need 2 feet, they need something different. They want to do it as part of a longer feed line. Like these are quick, you know, passes that we do as 25 footers for people for just a quick, easy setup at the shows. But everything with us is completely configurable because, as Shannon showed you, we build everything to order.
Yeah.
So you get it your way, not our way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you can make any changes you want. It's very easy for us to process.
So there we have it, brand new ABR Industries. The air conditioning is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Guys, thanks so much for taking us on the tour. Thank you, Chuck, for explaining the chokes and all that. And thank you for starting it all.
You bet. Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again on another episode of KMRD Radio Step 73, guys.